top stories, government announces plans for federal electricity grid. Minister underscores the importance of energy efficiency, and PAHO and St. Kitts and Nevis to complete strategic plan to fight communicable diseases. The details on these stories and more after the break.
101 reasons to shop at Quartz. Unbeatable prices and the best value. Quality brands that you trust. At Quartz you can shop with no cash. Credit is amazing. Pay in 90 days. Quartz makes it easy. 101 reasons to shop at Quartz. We have so much in store, and online we've got 101 reasons to shop at Quartz.
Mosoka, 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 mosoka.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. I'm Carla Barrage. In an unprecedented announcement, Minister of Energy and Utilities, Honorable Congress Maynard, says plans are underway to have one electricity grid powering the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. During the first Prime Minister's press conference on Monday, Minister Maynard gave details of discussions that are taking place.
At this point, the thinking is that Nevis geothermal wells will have enough energy in the first instance to support not only St. Kitts, not only Nevis, but Nevis and St. Kitts. And so they're collaborating with SCELEC on how we're going to integrate both of our grids, such that we now create one grid for the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
He said there is guaranteed financing for the project, which hinged on investors' expectation of one body and not two separate islands.
Then we have to look at the real options of going further, using St. Kitts as a point to connect to other islands such as St. Martin, St. Eustatius, Anguilla, even as far as Puerto Rico, and using Nevis to connect to other islands such as Montserrat and Antigua.
Plans also include further exports of energy.
And it was important to the financiers that, as Minister Clark referenced, we must be coming in as one united body. And so that couldn't go forward unless there was a commitment from the federal government, which we were more than happy to do.
He said the country is now at a transitionary phase to renewable energy dependence from fossil fuels. Energy efficiency is important in energy security, and as such the Ministries of Environment and Energy have partnered on a geothermal project aimed at pushing forward St. Kitts and Nevis's energy security agenda. That's according to Minister of Environment and Climate Action, Honorable Joyal Clark.
We are working together as the Minister of Energy and the Minister of Environment to create what we call energy security for St. Kitts and Nevis, and also to confirm our renewable energy mix. And I'm very clear about that. We cannot transition to solar energy alone. We cannot transition to geothermal energy alone, but we must use a mix of renewable energy sources. So we are partnering together to ensure that in the near future, St. Kitts and Nevis can engage in its green transition away from fossil fuel. St. Kitts and Nevis has to be seen as one space when it comes to geothermal, and we are happy that we can partner with NEVLEC and SCELEC.
Dr. Clark said the government has engaged the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center and the Caribbean Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency to meet with the Cabinet and relevant stakeholders to present on a renewable energy mix for St. Kitts and Nevis. Honorable Congress Maynard, Minister of Energy, shared similar sentiments, adding that the partnership will be fruitful. The Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, is assisting St. Kitts and Nevis with the completion of its National Integrated Plan for HIV, tuberculosis, STIs, and viral hepatitis. A team of consultants from PAHO is in the Federation and has begun with meeting with various stakeholders. The first event was a meeting at the Solid Waste Management Corporation Conference Room on Monday. Addressing that meeting, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Hazel Laws said that the consultation provides a forum for discussion of the draft situational analysis and the draft plan. She said that the aim is to have the plan meet the needs of the population and align with the UNAID's Global AIDS Strategy 2021 to 2026. The Chief Medical Officer also noted deficiencies in the HIV/AIDS, tuberculosis, and viral hepatitis response, such as gaps in the law that hinders, for example, adolescents under 16 from accessing services, funding gaps, and distant relationships with key stakeholders so that services are accessible to all, including vulnerable persons. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Marine Resources continued its week of activities in commemoration of World Food Day with a visit to the St. Christopher Children's Home on Tuesday. A delegation from the Ministry of Agriculture, led by Honorable Samuel Duggins, visited the staff and children at the home. The visit was highlighted by the symbolic planting of seedlings to signify the start of a new relationship between the ministry and the children's home, where staff of the Ministry of Agriculture will help improve and maintain their greenhouse. Minister Duggins was joined by Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Miguel Fleming, Crops Program Leader, Ian Chapman, Agriculture Development Advisor, Dr. Tracy Challenger, Assistant Secretary Kyle Flanders, and other staff within the ministry. After the break, fire officers discuss how fast residential fires spread, and Kayanjet provides update on its services and plans for St. Kitts. Stay with us.
Elevate your experience with Flow's fiber-fast internet and mobile combined. Enjoy double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines, plus up to 35 megabits per second home internet speed at the best rate, giving you the best value to stay connected. I think our Flow mobile is elevated.
You think?
An elevated experience starts with Flow at home, powering double data and unlimited talk on 4 mobile lines at the best rate. Visit a Flow store to sign up today.
Green means go with one rate.
Green means go with one rate. From Republic Bank, go green with hybrid or electric vehicles, and it's one low rate. And we mean low. Go green with solar-powered air conditioners, grids, water heaters, and it's still the same low rate. Any green product, one low rate. Offer ends December 31st.
Green means go with one rate today.
Call or check your nearest branch for details.
This is your boy Super Andy Handyman with your super dandy deals at Hosford's Building Center for the month of October. Bathroom cabinet $380.28, dog kennel $171.79, 50-foot hose $114.32, hose nozzle $46.06, lawn rake $32.27, Dorsey lantern $85.85, claw hammer only $52.25. Super dandy deals at Hosford's Building Center, making home improvement easy.
Welcome back. Fire officers from the St. Kitts Nevis Fire and Rescue Services continued their education campaign on the speed at which fires spread. During ZIZ Radio's program Fire Talk on Tuesday, fire substation officers Romel Williams and Timothy Martin discussed what causes fires to spread quickly in residential and commercial properties. Williams explained that it takes 5 minutes for a residential property to be engulfed in flames, noting that it would take longer for fire to spread in a commercial building.
It can take just about 5 minutes for a residential home to become fully engulfed in flames. 5 minutes. Commercial building or industrial buildings will take a little longer because of the size and probably what they are constructed from. some of these bigger buildings will be more steel than concrete or wood. So it would take a little longer for these type of buildings to become fully engulfed in flames.
He noted that this demonstrates how important it is for persons to have thorough fire safety procedures and protections in place, especially at residential properties. Martin spoke of some of the components needed to accelerate the spread of fires.
What assists fire to spread even more rapidly is heat. Heat, once it travels into other rooms, it makes it a lot easier for that room to ignite. Also, another important factor is smoke as well. Within the smoke, you have unburnt particles that gives off in the smoke. And once the smoke starts to envelop other areas, plus that heat, you can have a fire igniting in another total separate area quite easily.
Williams also explained the best time to extinguish a fire to reduce the possibility of it spreading.
Now it takes approximately about 30 seconds between ignition to where a fire actually contains itself, like self-sustaining burning. 30 seconds. And around that time, at the initial stage of the fire, we call that the fire term is on the incipient stage. That's the point at which the fire just starts, or where it was just birthed, the beginning stages of the fire. And at this point, this is more or less the best time. This is your best opportunity to catch that are having any chance of extinguishing that fire.
Fire Talk airs every Tuesday on ZIZ Radio at 9:30 a.m. during the morning show with GQ. Jet has announced its plans to present Phase 2 of its FBO development at the R.L. Bradshaw International Airport to the government of St. Kitts and Nevis. These plans will include the construction of a commercial aircraft hangar, an aircraft maintenance, repair and operations facility that will provide aviation engineering and training for persons in St. Kitts and Nevis. Other plans slated are a bonded warehouse and an in-flight kitchen facility, which will be tendered to local caterers to operate. According to Jet, this phase of expansion would benefit the islands economically through investment and ancillary business activities, apart from increased employment generation for its residents. Chairman of Jet, Dr. Uday Nayak, said the new facilities and services will enhance the offerings at the airport.
St. Kitts and Nevis has always felt like a second home for me, and it has been special from the moment I first stepped on the island in 2006 to watch a cricket match. I am excited with the plans to supplement our initial investment in the FBO and lounge 10 years ago. The new facilities and services will surely enhance the offerings at the R.L. Bradshaw International Airport. We look forward to working with the government and SCASPA on this expansion project.
Jet FBO services based at the Robert L. Bradshaw International Airport has been operational in St. Kitts since December 2013 and provides travelers and the aviation industry with a diverse range of lounge, fixed-based operator and aircraft handling services to accommodate operators, executives and general travelers flying into St. Kitts on commercial or private flights. As agricultural entities bring awareness for World Food Day, the Sandy Point Agricultural Society SPACS will be hosting a few activities. Lionel Stevens, president of SPACS, shared the details.
This year, it will be held at the St. Kitts Eco Park from 2 p.m. and the major highlights for this year are a sweet potato cook-off that would feature the Charles E. Mill Secondary School, the Sadler Secondary School, and AVEC. And that takes place at 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. There'll also be another highlight, which would be a rabbit festival, which is being put on by the Department of Agriculture as an attempt to promote rabbit meat as an alternative meat source going forward. There will also be a lot of other participants, including the Backyard Garden Association.
At first this year will be a farmers' retreat. President Stevens said it is a solutions-oriented sit-down session.
On Sunday, we are trying a first, which is a farmers' retreat, which we hope to be somewhat of a planning session. Is where we are inviting farmers to come on out to Manhattan Garden. It's a $50 registration where we eat, we drink, and we plan. You know what I mean? Try to organize and come up with solutions to address the number of problems plaguing us as farmers, and hopefully present some of these challenges to the department and see how we can work together to alleviate some of the poverty or the sufferation that we as farmers experience on a day-to-day basis.
As it relates to the cook-off competition, the grand prize will be $1,000 with awards for each student. President Stevens says no one will go home a loser. The Rotary Club of Liamiga will host the 16th edition of its annual primary school spelling bee competition on Thursday, October 20th. Chair of the Services Committee on the board of the Rotary Club of Liamiga, Cuthbert Woods, revealed this during a ceremony where he received a check of EC $1,500 from Caribbean National Insurance Company Limited, one of the sponsors of the event. According to Mr. Woods, the competition will be held in a single setting that will involve beginners, intermediary, and advanced stages. Assisting in the staging of the competition and invigilating will be a wide cross-section including the Rotary Club of Liamiga and Ministry of Education. The Primary School Spelling Bee 2022 competition will be held at the Antioch Baptist Church at Lime Kiln Commercial Development on Thursday at 4 p.m. Admission is free. Coming up in regional news, Grenada government establishes minimum wage board. The details when we come back.
Here are your Horsford's Value Mart IG Value Club Blue Tax Special.
Running October 6 to the 29th.
Dole fruit bowls, just $12.49 each. Chobani Greek yogurt, $5.69. Hot Pockets, $13.99 each. Bigelow teas, just $9.99. Gain dish detergent, $8.49. Pure bar tissue, $19.99 each. And now our very low weekly
value deals. Betty Crocker cake mixes, $6.99. IG or essential everyday quick and regular oats, $11.49. Hunt's ketchup, $4.99. Equaline mouthwash, $14.99. Kraft mayonnaise, $18.99. Hefty slider storage bag, $10.49. Shop smart, shop value mart. Tell them in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí a Value Mart.
And we're moving now to news on the regional scene.